Hey everybody, thanks for staying up past your bedtime. My name is David Friedman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Knox. At Knox, we're making it incredibly easy to turn a home you're moving out of into an income property. So this is the audience participation part of my talk. Raise your hand if you own a home or want to own a home. Okay, that was great. Moving on. So this is how homeownership actually works right now. You own a home for a while. When you are done living there, let's say it's time to retire, it's time to move to a new state, you have a kid, you get married, you have a fifth kid, you sell that home, you move into another home. You live there for a while, you sell that home, you move into another one. This is the pattern. This looks familiar, right? Well, through this pattern, the average American builds a majority of their wealth. Okay, so that's how it works now. So here's a home that I owned. I lived in it for about 10 years, and while I lived in it, it went up in value about $250,000, and I thought I was the man. Now here's the reality. 4 years later, it sold again for another $200,000, and I thought I was an idiot. So I had that conversation with a bunch of people, and you know what they all told me? I did the same thing, and I'd had this really weird experience, they told me. When I was going to sell it, I was like, why am I selling this home? It's a fantastic investment. It's gone up in value like 4 times. Why am I selling it? And the answer was, every single time, becoming a landlord is a pain in the ass. All right, I got to deal with the bank, I got to deal with the insurance company, I got to deal with tenants and legal and evictions, and screw it, I'm just going to sell it. So Knox exists to solve these problems. We turn investment property into a passive investment. We like to say we turn investment property ownership into what it feels like to own a share of IBM. So here's the old ownership pattern that you saw earlier. We've changed this. So every time you move, there's an opportunity to build an incredible investment. So you move and you build an investment. You move again, you build another investment. We're going to change the home ownership pattern and therefore change how people build wealth. So we had this idea of what we're like, how intelligent is this really? So we did a 20-year regression. We looked at the S&P versus the Case-Shiller index. It turns out that the average home in America, the average single-family home in America, if they were put in our program 20 years ago, spoiler, we didn't exist 20 years ago, we launched last Monday. If you'd put that home in our program fictitiously 20 years ago, it would be worth 369% more than that same investment made in the S&P at the same time. So we thought we were onto something. So let's talk about what we do. We've combined a whole bunch of things that it takes to turn a home into an investment property and then own it into one financial product. That includes financing, rentals, insurance, tenant management, accounting, and maintenance. That's my presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Oh, by the way, we launched last Monday. If you're moving soon, you should come and talk to me right now. The homeowner owns 100% of the home.
So the first home, and then I buy another home.
Yep.
I still own the first home.
Correct.
And how does the bank feel about that when I'm applying for a loan?
Yep. So one of the things we do is we make it really easy for you to get the next loan, and if you need to refinance the home you already own so you have the down payment on your next home. We're actually 3 companies in one, an insurance brokerage, a mortgage brokerage, and a property management firm. So we can help you navigate the bank. I'll give you an example. There's a little known secret that if you want to qualify for 2 mortgages, one of the things that really helps is to have a lease in hand. Because the bank is going to take a look at what you qualify in a note with your income. Well, the bank will credit your lease to you as income to the tune of 75 cents of the dollar. It's kind of a pain in the ass to go find a renter while you're still living there, so we take care of it for you.
So you're going to take care of everything.
Yep.
You're going to find the renter.
Yep.
And what's your cut?
We take 10% of the rent, and we make money as a mortgage brokerage and an insurance brokerage, but you don't pay for that. The market pays for that.
So it's kind of like an Airbnb sort of.
So I own an Airbnb property, and it's nothing like Airbnb. Yeah, because I talk to tenants, and I'm their landlord.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole idea of Airbnb is sort of like a peer-to-peer network, and they do it really well. Don't get me wrong; they're killing it. But we're really unlike Airbnb. Yes, sir.
So what do you do about professional renters that know the system and can hang around for many months at a time, trash your house?
Yeah, that is the risk that an individual takes on, and it's a big risk if you're alone. But if you talk to any large-scale property owner, they know how to get rid of them.
Out in Massachusetts.
Yeah, they do. Talk to anybody who manages a building or a few hundred or a few thousand units, and they know how to get rid of tenants in like 90 days. Yeah.
I'm suspicious of what you said for 28 years, the property, how the property rise. And
Okay, so just so because you're suspicious, go to knoxfinancial.com. At the bottom, there's a case study. You can download it and read it.
from my
Yeah.
own experience, it did not happen to me.
What's that?
But my own experience, it did not happen to me. I lived in a house for 15 years in the northern suburbs of Boston. It didn't increase at all.
Okay, so your one house, this was Case-Shiller, was a national index. So there's no way we can, this is like the disclaimer that I was talking to my lawyer about the bottom of the website. I just wanted to write, don't be an idiot. And he gave me like 5 pages of legalese and a link to it, right? So we can't guarantee returns, obviously, on every home in America. But this is what it looks like when you look at the entire 125 million homes in America. Yeah.
You still have to stay creditworthy, right, as an owner, to be able to take 2 mortgages.
Yeah,
You're
your
not
credit's
helping.
really important.
Yeah, you're not helping with that. You're not offsetting with
We have
that.
nothing to do with how good your credit is. We can't,
Yeah.
can't really prepare that for
You
you.
have to be able to afford 2 homes.
Your income plus the lease needs to qualify you for both mortgages. Because he already asked 2 questions. Yeah. You. Yes, you with the hand still up.
What about the area that doesn't cash flow that well? Right?
What's that?
What about areas that doesn't cash flow well?
It's a great question. We don't take every home in the program. So no, that's why you go to our website. It says apply today. So you apply. We actually have a proprietary model. We take it through. And then if we think the math works, then we go and visit your home. And if we think it's safe and we actually want it in our program and it doesn't look like a slum, then we might take it in the program. Yes, in the back with a cell phone next to your ear.
Yeah, I'm actually a landlord, so I definitely want to find out more about the program. What financial institutions do you work with? I'm very particular about who I have my mortgages with. These local banks, I cooperative in the savings bank, like in the area, or do you use like a big bank?
Sure. So if you want to use your own bank, that's fine. You don't have to use our mortgage brokerage. At the same time, we are a brokerage, so we work with like a dozen banks, including all the big names you might imagine. Yes?
What's your projected financial stuff like, and are you seeking financing?
We've raised 1.4 in a seed round. We just announced that last Monday. We came out of stealth on Monday as well, last Monday. What do our financials look like? We're a startup. We don't have much money. Our projections. So our projections, we think this can be an enormous company. The way we look at it is we're piloting about 50 zip codes in eastern Massachusetts right now. Once we prove there, we'll go to like 150, and then we'll start going through other metropolitan areas. So we don't see any reason why we can't be in every major city in the world. That's not really a numbers game for you, but the average unit in Boston that comes in our program makes us about $5,000 in top line a year. So we bring 1 million homes into the program. You can do the math.
So on your balance sheet, on your personal balance sheet, you're listing the home that's not sold, but you're renting. That's on your balance sheet as your full value.
So I'm going to answer your question in a slightly roundabout way. Think about it like this. If you want to move out of the home and rent it out yourself and be a landlord, go for it. There's over 10 million Americans who do that. All right? You don't have to do that. You can put it in our hands, and then you become a hands-off owner of that investment. It's the exact same system. We just do everything for you, and probably better than most individuals will. At the end? Yeah, you, the guy turned around? Yeah.
What's your gross margin for every new customer? Let's say a new customer that comes in has 3-4 homes that you have to manage.
We would love it if every customer had 3 or 4 homes that we could manage. We're assuming it's slightly over 1. So gross margin on a customer is about 80% in year 2. That's projected because we launched last Monday.
How does the 10% fee compare to hiring a management company?
So the answer is it depends on the market, but we'll just talk about Boston. A normal management company in Boston is going to charge you in several ways. The first thing they're going to do is charge you just to answer the phone when there's a tenant problem. That's going to come between 5 and 7%. Then they're going to charge you a month's rent every time they replace your tenant. So depending on the turnover rate of that unit, they're going to charge you more. And the problem with that is there's a perverse incentive in it, right? They want more turnover, and you as a landlord want less turnover, because with turnover comes a risk of vacancy, which is when you don't have any revenue. So the current property management world is actually kind of perverse. But they're really nice. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a property owner, my
fully managed rental company, they do about 5.6%. They do a lot of things to talk about, not all of them. I'm just really interested in how you're leveraging technology to kind of run a more efficient operation than these kind of management companies that have been running for the past 20, 40 years,
Yeah.
And have learned a lot of lessons in that.
So how are we? I
How are we
forgot to
leveraging
repeat the questions
technology?
earlier, so I'm going to do it now. How are we leveraging technology to do it better than the other guys? That's
So,
basically your question.
Are you a software company? And if so, what does that look like?
That's an even better question. So I'm going to answer both parts of that question. First of all, the average property management company that manages single families and condos and small multis has like 200 to 500 units under management and no economies of scale whatsoever. They literally pay bills with a checkbook, maybe through their bank's online system. Our technology budget is substantial, to put it mildly. Everything's automated. We send you a 1099 at the end of the year, making sure you maximize your taxes. There's all sorts of things that we can do because of our software stack that the average property management company wouldn't dream of. The other part of what makes us a technology company is how we use data. So if you raised your hand and you own a home, I have data on your home. I know how much you owe in your home. I know what your taxes are. I know what it costs you to own your home every month. And I know if I want your home in my program before you call me. So what we've really done, and this is the underside of things, the marketing, is we actually know exactly which homes we want to market to, who owns them, and they're seeing our ads on Facebook right now. And based on who you are, what age you are, what stage of life you're in, we're showing you a different ad. You're welcome. Thank you.